Oh, Justin Timberlake. It's all in here. Y'all want to know what Justin did to Britney? Hang on. But first, I just need a little emotional comfort from Bucky Britt. Bucky Britt, get me through this. Thank you. All right, let's do it. There were a couple of times during our relationship when I knew Justin had cheated on me, especially because I was so infatuated and in love. I let it go, even though the tabloids seemed determined to rub my face in it. When NSYNC went to London in 2000, photographers caught him with one of the girls from All Saints in a car, but I never said anything. At the time, we'd only been together for a year. That's not it. There's more. Another time we were in Vegas, and one of my dancers who'd been hanging out with him told me he'd gestured toward a girl and said, "Yeah, man, I hit that last night." I don't want to say who he was talking about because she's actually very popular and she's married with kids now. I don't want her to feel bad. That's okay, because I want Justin to feel bad. But there's more. There were rumors about him with various dancers and groupies. I let it all go, but clearly he'd slept around. It was one of those things where you know, but you just don't say anything. So I did too. Not a lot. One time. With Wade Robson. We were out one night and we went to a Spanish bar. We danced and danced. I made out with him that night. And then she says they moved past it and stayed together. And then, of course, they got pregnant. And she says, but Justin definitely wasn't happy about the pregnancy. He said we weren't ready to have a baby in our lives, that we were too young. I could understand. I mean, I kind of understood. If he didn't want to become a father, I didn't feel like I had much of a choice. I wouldn't want to push him into something he didn't want. Our relationship was too important for me. And so I'm sure people will hate me for this, but I agreed not to have the baby. Schmushmorshin was something I could have never imagined choosing for myself, but given the circumstances, that is what we did. I don't know if that was the right decision. If it had been left up to me alone, I never would have done it. And yet Justin was so sure he didn't want to be a father. And then, of course, she describes how her team didn't want her to go and have this schmushmorshin in a doctor's office, so she was given medication to do it at home, and she says it was excruciating and the worst pain she has ever felt in her life as she laid on the bathroom floor crying and Justin played guitar at her. In the next chapter, she talks about how Justin began making his debut album, Justified, and suddenly he was acting all icy toward her, and she figured out later it was probably because he was writing nasty songs about her and was planning to use their breakup in order to propel himself into success, which he did. She describes being on a video shoot for her video Overprotected, the remix by Darkchild, and getting a text that just said, "It's over." And it destroyed her. Here's an excerpt. For as much as Justin hurt me, there was a huge foundation of love. And when he left me, I was devastated. When I say devastated, I mean I could barely speak for months. Whenever anybody asked me about him, all I could do was cry. I don't know if I was clinically in shock, but it felt that way. And then she describes laying in bed and just staring at the ceiling in her home in Kentwood. And then Justin flew out to meet her and gave her a framed breakup letter. Y'all, he framed this? What kind of psycho does this? And she said that the last words in the letter are, "I can't breathe without you." Apparently, while she was home in Kentwood, People magazine came to do an interview with her. And her mom said this, my daughter is doing beautifully. She's never, ever been close to a breakdown. Like, what kind of fucking foreshadowing is that? So while Britney Spears was basically laying around comatose, Justin was going around showing his new music off, including this. On 2020, he played an unreleased song for Barbara Walters called "Don't Go, Horrible Woman." That seemed to be about me. I thought our love was so strong. I guess I was dead wrong. But to look at it positively, hey girl, at least you gave me a song about another horrible woman. And of course, less than a month later, he released his video Cry Me a River with the Britney Spears lookalike. So then basically Justin was running around doing these interviews and making it sound like he was a man scorned, while Britney was painted as a harlot and a bad guy. And I will read one final quote about their relationship. Because the point is, I was so sensitive and I was so young and I was still reeling from the schmshmorshin and the breakup, I didn't handle things well. Justin framed our time together with me as the bad guy and I believed it. So ever since then, I felt like I'm under some sort of curse. Well, I have a feeling Justified is about to take on a new meaning. There's going to be a shitstorm.